Hi, I'm Jackson. I am a game developer and relatively recent college grad, and I'm looking for entry level work in games, UX design, and digital media. I'd like to take a couple minutes here just to tell you a little bit about myself and what I could bring to your team. I'm a generalist game developer. I've been making games both solo and in small teams for over 6 years, and I've done digital media production for even longer than that. I've worked on 3 games that have been publicly released online, both on Steam and itch.io. I have experience with Unity, Unreal Engine, Blender, Maya, Git, and agile software development, in addition to UX design, video editing, audio production, and a smattering of programming languages. I graduated from Marist College in 2022 with a degree in games and emerging media and a minor in computer science. This course of study allowed me to develop skills all along the engineering to art gradient that makes up game dev, in addition to further developing my generalist skill set. I worked on a couple of major game dev projects during my time at Marist, but I want to talk about one in particular because it's definitely the one that I've learned the most from. It's a first-person puzzle platforming game called Airlon. We developed it my senior year as the Capstone project. In this Capstone class, we were put into a group of 12 seniors. We were told to pitch the game idea in the first week and then deliver the finished game at the end of the semester. Pretty much everything in between those two were up to us to self-manage and direct. I took a leadership role in the design team and worked closely with other leads to put together a vision for the game and ensure communication between disciplines. This was the first project that I worked on that had a really structured development process, as opposed to solo dev projects and game jams that I just was kind of winging it in. The biggest lessons I learned from this project had to do with scope. We went into the project knowing that we only had 15 weeks to put together a finished game, and so we focused on designing a core gameplay loop that was fun moment to moment, which allowed us to then scale the scope of the project going forward based on what time and resources we had left. Designing this core gameplay loop was a collaborative effort among all members of the design team, but due to my generalist background, I was tasked with actually implementing all of the core mechanics in Engine because time was of the essence. This structure, where we established a really solid foundation and then just built on top of it with what time we had left, was a really effective way of formatting a project with such a tight timetable. One aspect of this project that I'm particularly proud of is the fact that we were able to do full voice acting for all of the dialogue thanks to some volunteers from the Performing Arts Department. According to our advisor, we were the first Games Capstone group to actually release their game publicly on Steam at the end of the semester, which was super cool. It was just a free game release on Steam, but I gotta say, watching speedruns of a game that I developed and watching players clip through walls and exploit glitches that I didn't even know were there is something that I'm never going to forget. There's definitely a lot that I would do differently nowadays, but given the tight timetable and the fact that we were balancing the rest of a senior year workload, I'm really proud of the project, and development, though stressful at times, was a really positive experience and taught me a lot about collaboration, time management, and just what it means to work on a massive software project as a group of more than 10 people. It also showed me how much I enjoy being in a development environment where I'm able to or required to wear multiple hats. After college, I moved around and worked temp jobs for a bit before starting at my current employer, which is an after-school computer science tutor called the Coder School. There, I work as a tutor, teaching students aged 7 to 19 computer programming and just general computer skills. Rather than sticking to a strict curriculum, all of the lessons are project-based, so the students come in with an idea of what they want to learn, and I'll design projects that will teach them the skills that they need as we go through it together. I've taught students Unity, Blender, Python, Unreal, Java, web development, and a couple of other things. Making these small-scale projects and walking students through them step by step has really helped me keep my programming skills sharp even after graduating college. In addition, I've gotten so much better at explaining complex concepts in terms understandable to people that may be unfamiliar with computers in general. If you can explain what a normal map is to a 7-year-old, you can probably explain it to anyone. Outside of work, I've also been keeping busy with a bunch of other game dev projects. I've designed a couple of prototypes in Unity and spent a large amount of time learning Unreal and working on a vertical slice project that I unfortunately can't say much more about. In addition, I've launched a blog where I write about game design and keep track of the different projects I'm working on, and I've also been getting into weird AV and early digital video stuff. I'm shooting this on a mini DV camcorder and then compositing all the windows and stuff together in Blender. To make a long story short, I have a generalist skill set in interactive and other digital media development, and I want to use that to make cool stuff on the computer. Game and UX design is where I see myself focusing in the future, but as I said, I'm really comfortable in an environment where I have to wear multiple hats, and I'm competent enough at programming and art that I feel like I could fit well into entry-level positions in those disciplines as well. In a more abstract sense, I feel like games as a medium can do so much more than we're currently doing with them, and I just want to be part of pushing the medium forward and making really cool stuff that people like. If any of that sounds like someone you could use on your team, please drop me a line either on email or LinkedIn, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.